Hello everybody, welcome back to Allan Walls Photography. I am Allan, and today I need to ask your help. Today is April the 4th, 2020, and today we launched a program called My Pandemic. My Pandemic is going to be a book of 100 photographs taken by 100 different photographers from around the world. And each photograph encapsulates what the words My Pandemic mean to that photographer. For some people, it may be grief at the loss of a friend or a family member. For others, it may be boredom or frustration or anger. But one way or another, this pandemic is having an effect on everybody. And if it hasn't yet, it will. The My Pandemic book is going to be an important document. It's going to be an important look into the way ordinary people are experiencing this extraordinary time. The book will be published and it will be sold domestically and abroad, if possible. And the money that will be raised from the sale of the book will be given directly to the humanitarian aid organizations that need it the most and are doing the best work. It's going to be a huge project. But the first step is we need to find those 100 photographs. And to do that, I need to amass a collection of entries to a competition, which will be the source of these final 100 photographs. Let me tell you how it works. Starting today, for 3 weeks, we will be accepting entries of a single JPEG photograph. Everybody who hears about this is welcome to submit an entry. When the entry period closes, the photographs will be assembled and distributed to all of the people who submitted an entry. Each individual who submitted an entry will have 3 votes for their favorite photographs. And then when we add up all of the votes, the 100 images with the most votes will be the selections that we put together into this My Pandemic book. It is an ambitious project and it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of time. But I believe it is a rare opportunity for us to gather such an important document together. It's a way for photographers to directly help by sharing their experience of this time in a way that can become part of the history of this whole event. And at the same time, be a viable way for us to share that with anybody else on the planet who wants it, to raise money for the organizations that so desperately need it. Whether this pandemic has impacted you immediately and directly, or if the impact is simply the gnawing boredom of sitting around and waiting for something to happen, these are all legitimate experiences that I think need to be captured in this book. And I need your help in 2 ways. The first way is I need you to enter a photograph. I know that many of you are very accomplished photographers, and I have no doubt that you will rise to the occasion and submit a photograph that shows your experience of what is currently going on. But I also need you to do something else. I need you to help spread the word. I don't think this project can work unless we get a lot of entries. So the most important thing that you can do is to spread the word, whether that is through social media or directly sharing this video or putting this video on your own website. My Pandemic. Use a hashtag I always thought that was a breakfast food, but apparently it's something to do with social media. So put it in a hashtag or put a hashtag on it, whatever you do with them. Whatever it takes to get photographers to see what this is about and rise to the occasion. The more photographs we get, the more selection we will have to choose from when it's time to assemble the final book. Unlike most traditional photography competitions, there are no prizes, except, of course, the possibility that your entry will be part of this historic record of these times. I have a live stream event set up for the 8th of April, which is next Wednesday, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have at that time. I've set up a web page that describes the competition and the project in some detail, and there is a link to that in the show notes underneath this video. In the last couple of weeks, this pandemic has become very personal for me. I have 3 children who I love very much, and one of whom is being required to work in hospitals that are treating patients with this disease as a contractor. He's an electrician, and he is exposed, and it worries me to death. I also have friends and colleagues who are working on the front lines, who are treating patients and constantly exposed to the danger. And I know that all of us have had similar experiences. If we haven't yet, we all will before long. Communities that are sitting around now waiting for the other shoe to drop, it will drop. It's just a matter of time. So we cannot delay. We need to get on with this right now. And the sooner we act and the more vigorously we get the word out, the more success we can have. Normally, a project of this scope would be something that you'd expect to see from National Geographic or from a large camera company. We don't have those resources, but what we do have is people who care and people who have the skill to capture what this moment in time means to them and their families and their neighbors. So please, let's give this a try and let's make an effort to really make a difference. So My Pandemic is active now. On the web page are instructions about the format of the photograph and a few other fairly straightforward things you should be aware of. Please check that out and be sure to both send in the photograph and complete the entry form. That's so that I have a way to contact everybody who contributes a photograph. So that's it. Think about helping and think about spreading the word. The 2 announcements that I wanted to tell you about, the first thing is that we will in fact have a live stream show on April the 8th, which is next Wednesday, at 1 p.m. in the afternoon Central Time in America, which is Greenwich Mean Time -6 for anybody else who has to calculate the time. The second thing is we are going to start a macro photograph review video. I don't know how often we'll do it. It'll depend on how many photographs are submitted. But if you want to send in a photograph and you don't mind having it discussed publicly in the video, then please do so. Please make sure that your photograph includes all of the metadata from that image so that I can tell what your camera settings were, and any other information that you can give me about how the photograph was captured, if it was done on a rail, how many images in the stack, that type of thing. All of that will help me understand what's going on in the photograph and be able to give you better advice. I look forward to being with everybody on Wednesday for our live stream, and should have some fresh macro video stuff coming out this week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, commenting, emailing, sending photographs. All of that stuff is hugely appreciated. Until I see you again, stay indoors, stay away from people, keep your hands away from your face, and never pick your nose in public. Even if you're in your car, it's just disgusting. Got it? See you soon. Take care.